Benawenya, Baramisa, kiss the girl. You better kiss the girl.
That's just 2 combo Disney movies.
Mashup time. What are you doing?
What am I doing currently? I'm talking to you.
Oh, snap. We are doing a podcast intro.
Yeah.
This is a fun one.
Yeah. Joyelle is old friend of both of ours at this point.
Very funny New York-based comedian, Joyelle Nicole.
Yes. She's done Late Night with Seth Meyers.
Yep.
She was on Crashing. She's a warm-up comic for Hasan Minhaj's Patriot Act.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Credits. Just like, warm up, everyone. The world is fucked up.
Honestly,
get used to laughing at it.
Perfect job for her.
Yeah.
She's fucking hilarious. And, she tours with Lady Parts Justice League, doing shows at abortion clinics to, bring some joy and money.
Independent abortion clinics, which I'm going to admit straight up, I did not realize there were independent.
Oh, really? You thought it was just Planned Parenthood?
I thought it was like, I felt like it would all join together, but like indie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
it's like an indie abortion clinic. You know what I mean?
If you get the doctors and, you get the funding, you should be able to do it, but a lot of times they can't get the funding, hence Joyelle and comedy and you people.
I like the idea of just like an indie, going to an indie abortion clinic where the doctor doesn't wear a jacket. And you know what I mean? Like, and they just
super indie.
Yeah. Like you go in and there's not really like a waiting room. There's just like more like a hang area.
They're just playing stuff on vinyl.
Yeah. Sometimes the doctor actually they use vinyl tools to abort.
No.
The thing. What? No.
No.
It's indie though.
I know, but this is why we need to give more money to abortion clinics.
I agree. Unless they are indie by choice, in which case the vinyl is sterilized.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what's up. The vinyl abortion tools are sterilized.
No. This is going to coat hanger territory. I don't like it.
No, didn't say coat hanger. Indie would never do coat hanger, man. Only biodegradable, totally chill. Like handmade locally.
Okay.
Farm to table abortion tools.
All right.
There it is.
All right.
And she's tours with a group that supports that.
Fair.
Hell yeah. I support independent businesses across the board.
I do as well, especially abortion clinics.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, if you were not thrown off by this intro already, that's fine because we talk way more about independent abortion clinics.
It's a very interesting conversation. You should be listening to that. You should be listening to all these conversations about abortion clinics. Seriously.
Yeah.
Listen, hear what people have to say.
Yeah. So check Joyelle out. She has a website, joyellenicole.com, and Twitter is where she primarily updates whatever shows she's doing. So go follow her at Joyelle Nicole. Sean, what are you doing this week?
This week I'm going to be on Thanksgiving night. I'm gonna run a marathon. I've decided while everybody else is eating turkey, stuffing themselves. I'm gonna run a few miles.
I like it.
I'm gonna run for the turkeys. Okay. I'm gonna forever. I'm gonna run 15 to 25 feet for every turkey being eaten in America.
I'm
on
gonna
Thursday.
hold you to that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that at all. But I will be. I'm gonna be in New York doing shows all weekend, and then Monday before this comes out, Sunday and Monday.
Yeah.
Because we're both gonna be in Eau Claire, Wisconsin.
Yes.
You're doing your show on Sunday the 1st, and I'm doing mine on Monday the 2nd. Eau Claire, Wisconsin. The Plus is the venue. It is a fucking amazing time every time. It's
awesome. I am a huge fan of Eau Claire, Wisconsin. So if you happen to be near there or there currently, come to both nights. We'll be hanging.
Yeah.
We'll be doing our hours. Yeah, you should come.
Do it.
Cool. Well, enjoy the episode and stick around for the song at the end. I'm especially proud of it.
Boom. Under the sea.
That's not a line.
That's not a line at all.
That was
Sebastian.
That was the Little Mermaid in the Aladdin character arrangement, chord progression.
Okay.
None of those things, is it?
I don't.
Caitlin
That
Stern.
sounds like the deleted scene.
Yeah.
There you go.
Because I was. What's that one Aladdin song? It's like marvelous. Ali Ababwa.
Yes.
Prince Ali.
Prince Ali, yeah.
Ali
But I was singing Under the Sea, that's where it be.
I would actually
magical.
love to do weird Disney mashups like that. I'm sure
Yeah.
someone has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
mean-
Prince Ali song was my favorite.
Okay, so I watched last week. I had a very interesting week where I hung out with Will Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I saw a picture.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And
Everyone's
What the hell?
Instagrams were
Right?
flooded.
People were popping.
And on the flight to Vegas, we shot the thing in Vegas. I watched the live action Aladdin.
With Will
With
Smith,
Will
as,
Smith
the
as the
genie.
genie.
A terrifying looking genie.
And I'll say this: I'll give Will Smith credit where credit's due in this regard. He holds water with Robin Williams' genie,
Does he?
Wow.
only because Robin Williams' genie was at least animated. So
Right.
Robin Williams could go fucking berserk,
And he
they,
did.
right,
Yeah.
and it was beautiful. He had to actually be in everything.
Yeah.
It was actually like live action Will Smith genie. Has anyone seen this? Am I the only one?
No.
I haven't.
No.
Seeing him dressed like that scared me.
Yeah.
It turned me into a child.
It is
Yeah.
It
scary.
reminded me of how I felt when I saw that thing from the Neverending Story. I still don't know what it is. Is it a flying dog?
Oh, yeah. That thing's
that,
weird.
That thing is weird, and that haunted my nightmares as a kid.
Atreyu.
So
Wait, was it? No, Atreyu was the warrior.
yeah, I know.
What was the dog's name though? The flying dog.
it was a flying dog, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
That
look it
Dan,
up.
it's a Dan
Terrifying.
Saint Germain. That's what it looks like. It looks like
And that sounds like a dog's name.
it's a Dan Saint Germain. We have a Saint Germain. It flies.
That terrifies Joyelle in her dream.
It flies and it gets married way quicker than you thought.
Commodore?
Commodore.
Commodore.
Ugh, she Googled it. I can't even
Yeah.
look.
It's weird.
Well,
looking.
that's like, I watched anyway the movies. But I have a big thing. Hey, Disney, since you probably own us too.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do live action remakes of classics,
Yes.
do like gritty, real. Give me the real shit. Like, show me what an actual like Middle Eastern kingdom in whatever that time that probably was supposed to be set in the
You want
17th
like
century.
a Christopher Nolan?
Yes, yes.
Like, did you see that
Yes.
that fake trailer for Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but like the serious one?
No.
It went viral recently, and it was like really good. It was like this kid is getting into like some fucked up shit and
Yeah.
needs to be like sent to this other world, and he's like trying to teach
Yeah,
Carlton
because that
about,
wouldn't
like,
be a comedy.
No, it's not funny. But I was like, I want to fucking watch this shit though.
Yeah.
Like, this seems interesting, and that's what I want from these live action.
Yeah,
Disney.
we want a
Yeah.
the
The real
real
story.
Gotham Gothic
Right.
treatment. to
Exactly. I want
Aladdin.
the gritty, raw. Derek. What's his name? You said
Gritty Raw Derek.
Derek. What's that director's name? Shit. Who am I thinking of? The guy who did The Wrestler.
I don't know.
Oh,
De-
no.
Yeah.
I can't do that one.
But
I could
yes,
do a Chris
Christopher-
Nolan. I could do a what is who
Yeah, I'm
was the
not
other
up and
one?
up on my directors. I'll
You
tell
want
you
you
that.
want Quentin Tarantino? You
Tar-
just
Tar-
say the N word a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You couldn't have Tarantino doing the Aladdin remake
No.
because then he introduces
What
sand
a
and
movie
word.
that would be.
The sand word.
Oh,
It's like,
no.
there he goes. He's gonna find a way to do it. Aladdin, you mean that dirty?
No, he would bleep him anyway.
Yeah.
But I want to see like the gritty remakes.
So you said Will Smith was good in it. I will never know because I'll probably
it
never
was
see
interesting.
it.
But like I watched it just kind of being like, because I went into this thing being like, I'm gonna fuck with Will Smith a little bit. I'm gonna watch his, him play a genie, and then I'm gonna do nothing but quote Fresh Prince and the silly, like the serious parts, like the why don't he want me, man? Like those things. I was like, I'm gonna. But then the moment you meet him and talk to him for like 3 seconds, you're like, I can't fuck with him. He's a sweet human being,
He's
and
such
I'm
a
an asshole
sweetheart.
for wanting to bust his balls a little bit.
Yeah.
But you kind of still want to be like, why you do that? I'm
Yeah.
trying to be a tough dad. But you be making me laugh.
I had one experience with him.
Oh, really?
Was it love? Was it love?
It was Afropunk 2012. Jada was performing.
Oh, so a while back too.
Yes, Jada was performing with her punk group, Wicked.
Oh
Whiskey.
yeah, I forgot that she was.
Yes,
in a fucking
she had a
punk band.
whole
I did
ass
not know
punk
that.
band.
Damn.
So they were performing, and the whole family came. He came with the 2 kids. And it was funny because Jaden was like being too cool for school and
Too cool
and
for his
Jaden.
punk band,
yeah,
mom.
for his punk band mom.
That's
And
so
so
cool.
and so Will was like, I got to see this family moment where he was like, all right, let's go watch mom. And Jaden was like, whatever. And Will's like, dude, Queen Latifah's here. Could you get excited? Like,
Yeah.
like you're over your
Yeah.
celebrity family. It was just funny to see Will trying to be the cool dad. Like, you literally have the
Yeah.
coolest father on the planet, and
Yes.
you're too cool for him.
Oh my god.
Like Jaden's like, God, I wish my dad was just like a 9-to-5er.
Right, just a regular. I wish you wouldn't take me to concerts with mom. It's so embarrassing.
God, I wish my dad was stressed out over mortgage payments and him and my mom had issues.
God, I wish my dad drank too many Heinekens when he got home from work.
God. I wish my dad didn't know me at all, really, as a person, and just wanted, like, kept trying to force narratives on me that he wishes he achieved.
That got dark. He's a sweetie though. He seems like such a sweet person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was like unreasonably friendly. and
Yeah,
cool.
we were saying like I don't think you can get more famous than that.
Yeah,
You can get
especially
as
as a black
famous,
person.
but I don't think you can get.
I
more
mean,
He's as famous as a black person could be.
yeah.
I mean, he's beyond. He's like
He's transcended his blackness.
he's transcended his age.
Age.
He's transcended his like up close. It's like I know you're not 22, but I wouldn't
Yeah.
know your real age. And once you even hear his real age, it's like it doesn't.
How
you
old
just-
is he?
51, I think. Damn. You just don't. But he just doesn't look like age. He looks like he's from a planet where age doesn't matter.
Like
You know what I
light
mean?
years, like
Where-
he might be 800.
Like
I
you
want to
keep
go to
living until you decide you want to die on his planet, and he's clearly like, well, I'm enjoying this still.
yeah, why wouldn't you? I have millions of dollars.
That's amazing.
But the thing that his one of his like his production company, one of Lucas Kaiser, you know Lucas?
He's a comedian.
Yeah, he's a comedian, but he like works for Will now.
Yeah.
And he was saying how like it's fine when they're in America, it's fine. You know, like most people here are used to seeing celebrities and are kind of like a little, you know, sometimes they freak out, but most of the times they're too embarrassed to freak out. But how like when they go to like the Middle East or China,
They don't
it's-
give a fuck.
Yeah,
They
people
will
like
mob,
trample,
especially
yeah.
China.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
bet
yeah.
you China thinks any black man they see over 6 foot is Will Smith. So
They do. My
So-
college
sure.
boyfriend
Yeah.
was a black South African guy, and he went to China when he studied abroad, and he was like, you will not believe how many people stop and try and take a picture with me because they assume that I am famous, and sometimes called me Will Smith.
Caitlyn, you went black and then went back.
I did.
She did it.
Yep.
I did. I
I
did
mean,
the impossible.
There's no. We still haven't proven that I'm not black. I'm kidding. We proved. I'm kidding. It's been
No, I
proven.
was going to say, in all fairness, my college boyfriend was also half white. So.
There you go. Half white.
So she only
now.
went
She's
half.
I went half black,
transition.
and then I went
Got
back.
it.
She kept one leg.
You better. America can only handle a drop at a time.
No. Like so imagine when Chinese people actually see Will Smith
Yeah.
and they're like, that is actually
They
Will
must freak
Smith.
out.
It's confirmed. You know? Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It's
So nuts.
That's funny.
But yeah, he
Wait.
was
and he will
Yeah.
also take a picture with anyone that wants a
Anyone.
picture.
and he's not weird about it. And like Jackie Fabulous, who's one of my new favorite people on the planet, she was basically just filming her own mini Instagram.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you say yeah.
I seen it.
And
That's the only reason I knew you were there.
Yeah,
you were
because in the background, it's like, hey, yeah.
Sure.
But like, he at one point, I don't know if she ever posted this, but he at one point, she was like, here I am with Will Smith on the last day. It's been amazing. And he just kind of took her phone and went, and we fucked. And like, and everyone like, what? And she like laughed, turned it off. She's like, I'll erase that right now if you want me to. He's like, I don't care. Put it out there. No,
Oh,
get it out.
please.
Get it out there.
He's also like, Jada knows.
Yeah.
I
What I think is, my theory is this, and this is why he's doing this sort of stuff. He's got 40 million something followers on Instagram. He's got, I think his YouTube channel's got like 69 or 59 million subscribers. So he's at a point where it doesn't matter. And like, it's almost like he's bored with Hollywood or understands that Hollywood isn't the most powerful entity and entertainment anymore, really.
Yeah.
So he's like, fuck it. I'm just going to do what I want.
Yeah. Which seems like an amazing
I
place
have-
to be.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Will, you did
Yeah.
it.
I know.
You know what? Guys, let's just hustle in 2 or 3 years. We could be there
We
too.
could be Will Smith. We all want to be Will Smith.
Oh my God.
I want to be Will Smith famous.
I don't.
I know.
Nope,
Thank
I'm
you.
doing it.
I like
Starting to the timeline. How long will it take me to get Will Smith famous? Starting today.
237 years.
Thank you.
What type of famous do you want to be, Caitlyn?
Ooh, I don't know. Because I like being anonymous when I need to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Maybe like this sounds weird, but maybe like Alana Glazer famous, where
Okay.
like she's well respected for creating this really funny show that a lot of people like.
Yeah.
But also I feel like she could just walk around and not really be stopped.
Well, also she's so tiny,
Yeah, she is so
and
tiny.
she wears many clothes.
Yes.
So people don't recognize
Yeah,
her.
and
Like,
also
she
her
could
like,
walk around. and
Her
be-
character in the show is like really like she wears big ostentatious bright clothing.
Yeah.
So if she wanted to play that up, she could dress like
could.
that and wander around. But
and her hair, like
Yeah.
if she
Yeah.
puts her hair in a ponytail, she can go.
Yeah.
If
I
her
think
hair's out.
she also like inspired a look.
she definitely did.
So it's
My
almost
best friend
like-
from high school
yeah,
looks
you
like
know?
her now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so people like you could be like, oh no, that's just
That's a good choice.
and Alana Glazer.
What about
wannabe.
you?
I would actually, my gauge has always been Queen Latifah, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Maybe-
She's a Jersey girl. I love her. But also, like, I've seen her just driving down the street in her own car
Yeah.
in LA with the top down and just chilling.
Yeah.
And she, like, purposely walks down the street by herself. Like, she can do that.
If
know?
you're
Yeah,
if you
I
ever
feel like she's like incredibly well respected by like so many different groups of people.
and
too.
also the transition she's made through her career. Like,
Yes.
she's one of those people who, like, can do a little bit
Oh,
of
yeah.
everything.
Everything.
And I want to be able to be that. Like,
Yeah.
comedy, what? Movies, what? Producing, what?
Yes.
Oscar nominated, biatch.
Hell yeah.
was she
Yes.
for
Chicago.
Chicago?
But she
year.
definitely like Emmys and Golden Globes though. I feel like
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, at least
Probably a
nominated.
Grammy or two. Probably a Grammy or three.
got to get that.
Maybe
EGOT.
if you got Queen Latifah famous and I was Will Smith famous, we could be in an episode of there's an episode of Fresh Prince that they're in together.
yeah.
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 Well,
And then I could
yeah.
wear that hat she wore. That was my favorite.
That I mean that's yeah that like
She's my childhood hero.
Yeah, she's pretty amazing. I
Yeah.
want you know what I've decided. I want to be truthfully
Yeah.
Sean Patton famous.
There you go.
It is yet to be seen.
There we go. We defining it. Damn it.
Yep, we got.
so
But
silly.
the you're from Jersey.
I'm a Jersey girl.
I knew this. I always know this, and I always assume though that you're from New York, which essentially I feel like Jersey and New York are like your like aunt and uncle who aren't married, but have just been together for 25 years.
It's
Like, why don't you
true.
guys
That's,
just
a,
make it
that's a
official?
good way to put that because
You know?
everyone will say, since I'm from New Jersey and I'm from Union, which is only 20 minutes from the city, they'll be like, oh, so you're a New Yorker. And I'm like, no. I was like, no one from Jersey would
Yeah.
say they're a New Yorker.
Yes. Yeah,
At
yeah, yeah.
all. And no one from
Yeah.
New York would say they're from New Jersey, but all my family's from Brooklyn. My mother's from Brooklyn. So that's
Yeah.
why it was like an easy transition for me to come to Brooklyn. But Jersey people are from Jersey. So the aunt and uncle that are not married is a very accurate description.
Yeah,
of
because
that.
it's also like they're so. I mean, from an outsider's perspective, coming in, like the Jersey, New York similarities are abound. Like
Yes. The accents. None of
Yes.
the female accents are attractive. They are.
Well, it's okay, but it's like when you go from New York to Connecticut, there's a difference there. I feel.
Yeah.
even though it's still the tri-state area.
Yeah,
which
even though
is-
it's still, you're like,
but
oh,
Connecticut
this
is
is
different.
Connecticut. Yeah.
Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Yes. Connecticut.
Yeah, like white people are they look a little more either strung out or super. I think Connecticut's the Mississippi of New England in the sense that it seems like everybody's either very rich or very poor. Very poor.
You go from Bridgeport to
Yeah.
Greenwich.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And like and people always think like Mississippi. What are you talking about? There's no black people in Mississippi. I'm like, so you've never been to Mississippi?
Right. Yeah.
There's Mississippi has the South has a lot of black people in general.
I think
Yeah.
there's still slaves in Mississippi.
I mean,
Gotta be
yeah,
honest.
like,
A weird statement.
they haven't heard yet.
it is a
Yeah.
weird thing when you meet a black person who lives in Mississippi. You want to be like, why though? Just there's so many. Come to New Orleans or
no.
go north. Go north.
It's so funny because I work with abortion rights. We could always talk about that. And we'll
Oh, yeah.
go to the red states.
You do shows
and
for the
we
red
do
states.
shows
right?
for the red
Yeah,
states.
yeah.
So in these red states, we'll see the people coming to the show, and we'll see like a lesbian couple,
Yeah.
or something looking like a drag queen. We'll be like, oh, they coming to our show, but then
Yeah.
you're also like, you're in Louisville, Kentucky. Like you know you can leave, right?
Yeah.
go.
But
come
that's
to New
crazy.
York.
But I always look at Louisville as one of the more like open-minded
It
southern
is,
cities,
it
but
is.
still,
But
but then
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
But
Yeah.
still, you're in
Yeah.
Kentucky.
Yeah.
So it's like stay in Louisville. Don't go out out that blue line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We need those people there.
We do need them to stay. We need them to stay. We need them to vote. Y'all are better
Yeah,
than me.
true. So
Yeah, but also
hey,
I had to
like,
leave
woo,
Jersey.
you know you can leave
Yeah.
though, right? Yeah.
Y'all can
so hey,
leave.
black people in Mississippi, stay there.
Stay there.
Stay
Well,
there.
that is true. I do think this because I have this conversation a lot with people who've never been to the South. Where I think that if you've never been to the South and you criticize it, you're just as ignorant as someone who's never left the South and criticized everywhere else.
Right. You better.
Yeah.
I go so I
Yeah.
can criticize.
You can, right? But like
I've traveled this whole bitch. I can
southern
criticize.
southern cities that are awesome. In my opinion, a lot of those people are way more like open-minded than people in New York or LA because there's half an hour outside of those cities is the shit.
Yeah.
That half an hour outside of New York or LA, you don't really get to the shit that quickly. Like New Orleans, you get 40 minutes outside New Orleans, you're in southern Mississippi, or you're in western Louisiana, which is like, oh God.
Well, let's talk about getting 2 blocks off Bourbon Street because
Yeah.
that's also happened
Yeah.
to me.
What-
Maybe that should be the story I tell. I got 2 possibles.
Yeah. Well,
could do 'em both,
Well,
man.
well, okay.
Mix it up.
Would you like to tell us your story in 5 words?
5 words. White women. That's 2 words.
Yeah.
Cemetery.
Ooh.
Crackheads.
That happens.
Daylight.
Damn.
Oh, these are good.
White women, cemetery, crackheads, daylight.
Oh, New Orleans, obviously is.
This sounds like a fantastic a mantra. White women, cemetery, crackheads, daylight. All right, we're gonna try and guess what this
Oh,
is.
I'm so excited.
All right, go.
It's gonna be so off. Okay,
All right,
no,
and
let's give it a go.
you could correct this after we get through it. Go.
Cool.
Okay, so you're in New Orleans. We already know this.
All right, go.
New Orleans.
You decide that you're going to do a ghost tour.
Right.
It's a very popular thing to do in New Orleans for anyone that hasn't been there. So you do a ghost tour, and you're on your own. You've been doing shows, I suppose, and the entire tour is a bunch of white women, the kind of white women that you're like, did you think this was a Sex and the City tour? But it's a ghost tour. Yeah.
Right, and that's the thing. A lot of people don't realize that, like, those ghost tours in New Orleans. I mean, they're rumored to. I've never personally seen this myself, but they all get very sexy. You know, they start off scary. They start off like, ooh, look at there's, and they buried the tombs above ground because the bodies would float out of because the water level was too high. That's true. And this is rumored to be a haunted, etc. But then as they go on, it's like, and here, of course, as you can see, is where no one's looking. So you could just let your little demons out, if you know what I mean.
Freak demons.
Right. It starts getting a little sexy. And on this tour, you're like, wait, I wasn't expecting this. And then you realize, wait, these women, they didn't think this was a Sex in the City tour. They just thought this was a sex tour. And they're all dressed real scantily clad to be as afraid as they should be.
So at this point, you're wandering through the cemetery with these sexily clad women. I
Yeah.
can't speak words. Sexily clad women. And you start to hear these weird noises. And then these women start to get actually afraid. Like they're dressed very sexily clad.
Yeah.
You start to hear these noises. These women start to get afraid. And then you realize everybody is on crack. Like there's everybody, the tour guide, these women, what is happening? This is like some kind of weird tour that you had no idea what was going on.
Well, it's a classic New Orleans snafu. You're like, oh, look at that ghost tour. Let's go see what they're up to. Oh, God, is this a ghost sex tour? No, I just followed a bunch of crackheads.
Yep.
And they're just rambling around looking for
Classic New Orleans.
somewhere to fucking do more crack. Luckily for you, though, which also happens in New Orleans, you felt the like, it's like in vampire movies or in any scary movie where suddenly, oh, is that the sun? And everyone knows crackheads can't be out in the sun. So
True, yeah.
they all start retreating into their tombs. And then you're just like, well, shit, if the sun's out, beignets.
Yes,
Yeah.
bitch. Me
So-
in France.
In essence, that was about the time you were hanging out in New Orleans, saw a bunch of women and thought they were on a ghost tour. Then thought, uh-oh, is this going to turn into an orgy? I've heard about these. Wait a second. Just a bunch of crackheads that I've been following around for
Yes.
God knows how long.
Yeah.
But it's daytime, and they've got to go retreat, and I'm going to go get some beignets.
Did we nail it?
You nailed it. All of that is wrong. But I love the attempt.
Praise.
It's so funny to think about where people's minds go with stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell us. First of all, fun fact, arbitrarily, that I found out on an actual ghost tour in New Orleans was that they gave slaves Sundays off in New Orleans.
It also the first city slaves were able to buy their freedom.
That was the first city?
New Orleans was the first, like, quote unquote woke city.
Yeah.
It was the first city where they were
finding out that they got
Oh, I did
days
know about
off.
the Sundays
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
there's
That's
that
wild.
park that they like everybody would go hang out in and like play
We were
music.
passing
and,
that
yeah,
park, and they were
yeah.
like, "This is where the slaves
Yeah.
would hang out on Sundays." And I was like, "Excuse me, what? Slaves got days off?"
Oh yeah, Louis Armstrong
Wild.
Park. They got to hang out and do drum
Yeah.
circles. Like seriously,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
they got to hang out, and that's where drum circles essentially started in the U.S.
That
Yeah.
tripped me out.
Beautiful, yeah.
Nuts.
So this particular story, okay, so I'm in New Orleans. I'm actually not working. I was there for a birthday party for a friend, and we actually had a parade. We had a second line. This is my
fun.
second time having a parade in New Orleans. My first time was with our good friend Sean Patton in
Yes.
New Orleans with
With
Hannibal
Hannibal,
Buress.
yeah.
Yes,
He should be
Um,
doing kickbacks to those companies. Or they should be
Oh
doing
my
kickbacks to
God.
him.
for
yes.
sure. Because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure, he
You
did
know what
that
sucks?
big-
You know what sucks? I tried to talk him out of that early on.
A parade.
For anyone who doesn't know, Hannibal got really into hiring, doing second lines in New Orleans,
Yeah.
hiring a band to do it, and just you follow them around. It's a hoot. He asked me about it the day before though, and I was like, I don't know, man. It's kind of expensive, and I don't know. I mean, do you really want to do it? He's like, nah, fuck it, I'm doing it, and it was amazing.
Yeah,
Oh,
we had a
that's
fucking
awesome.
ball.
And
We had a
now
ball.
it's like now I'm like, what an asshole I am
Hey,
for almost
you're not
convincing
We're
innovative.
convincing enough, so it's fine.
I'm
Yeah.
glad he didn't listen to you.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So this is my second time. So my friend is the one throwing the party, the parade.
Mm-hmm.
She ends up leaving, and the next day I was just there with her friends from Canada. So it's I think 3 white women who I don't know, but we become friendly
Mm-hmm.
over the course of this weekend. So one white girl. So it's me and this other white girl who are the tall people, and this matters for the story because we're
Yeah.
both almost 6 feet tall. And then we had these 2 littles, I will call them.
Littles.
The littles are always the problem. So little number 1 is the ringleader, and she was like, I want to go to a cemetery. And of course, my black ass was like, for what? Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was like, enough people have died in my
We're
life.
all gonna end up in one eventually.
Hello?
We'll see.
It's like,
Yeah.
who visits cemeteries that is never... I don't know a black person in this country that I'd be like, let's go visit a cemetery. So reluctantly, since I'm with them, they were like, let's go to the cemetery. I was like, all right, fine. I don't have anything else to do. I'm in New Orleans by myself. I might as well go. So we start walking off of Bourbon Street. And about 2 blocks off of Bourbon Street, shit starts to get seedy. So my spidey sense starts to tingling. I start seeing like, boarded up stores, just a little bit each time.
Yeah.
And then I saw a crackhead. Mind you,
Yeah.
it was broad daylight.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah.
broad daylight.
Yeah.
And I'm nervous in broad daylight because I was like, wait a minute, this is starting to look like Baltimore. So
Yeah, the crackheads in New Orleans are like vampires
Yes.
in that movie where they sparkle during the day.
yeah.
Twilight.
Yes, exactly. So
Yeah.
I see one crackhead, and then so me and the other tall
Yeah.
are like, huh. We're like, this neighborhood's starting to get real sketchy. The littles are leading the charge. They're like, all right, walking hard. So we
The littles.
get to whatever this block is. We make a left. There's no one on the street but a gaggle of crackheads that are kind of like in the middle of the street.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And I realized I got offended because these Canadian bitches didn't notice the difference between crackheads and regular black people. They thought they were regular black people, and that offended me because I was like, you can't see the difference between
Yeah.
me and them? Like, y'all are, because I guess they don't have crackheads in
Yeah,
Canada because
yeah.
they have health care.
Yeah.
So,
And clean injection
and,
sites.
and they
Yeah.
also don't know what projects look like because their projects aren't like that because they have a social system that works.
the
in
project
Canada.
the project worked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
their projects work.
Yeah.
So they don't know what bad neighborhoods look like. So we're walking, we see these crackheads. We get to the cemetery, and turns out we are on the wrong entrance to the cemetery. We are on the wrong side. So there's no entrance. It's just a wall. And this wall is about 8 feet tall. I can gauge it because I'm a tall, and it's
Right.
above my head. Little number 1 says,
Oh no.
boost me over the wall.
No.
Yeah. This is how you get in. And everyone knows.
Boost me. And she was dead serious about it.
No.
And then me and the tall looked at each other like, bitch, who you want to boost you? Because the only people who could do it is two of us.
Yeah,
Because we
yeah.
the base of the pyramid.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
what I said, I'm not boosting you. Boost you up. And then what? Get
Yeah.
you over the, who's getting you
There
back?
you go. Send us. All right, we're good.
We're good.
Yeah.
Who's,
Oh
we're coming with you. Who's left here by themselves? Me?
No,
I'm not
no.
staying here by myself. And then I was like, I'm about to call an Uber, get the fuck out of here because we're about to get attacked by some crackheads.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized I can't follow white women into anything.
It's not to.
because they were just carefree. And I was like, it was their Canadianness that made them feel like everything's safe, everything's okay. And then it was just a level of white privilege that I hadn't experienced
So
because
funny.
it just led them into a dangerous situation that they didn't even know was dangerous.
It's also like that is such a ridiculous mindset of like, well, boost me over. It's like, what do you not think that's? What if that's trespassing?
What if that's trespassing? Who's over there?
Yeah,
We don't
yeah.
know who's over there that lives in there because you know all the tombstones
And
are
also,
8 feet
it's
tall.
just immediately splitting up the group. Like,
We're
there's
splitting up the
no
group.
way. Yeah.
There's no way for you to get back over the wall.
Yeah.
You don't know where the entrance is from there. And she was so serious about it. And I was just like, girl, let's go. Let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Because also, guess what? The crackhead's going to come rob y'all, not
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
I'm going to be like, take them bitches. I'm one of y'all. Like,
The crackheads are actually over there going like, all right, we avoid the talls.
yeah,
Yes.
We go for the smalls.
We go for the smalls,
littles.
Yeah.
the small whites.
I mean, yeah, it's there is that level of like everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
That mentality is like
Everything's fine.
that's
And it's worse for a
dangerous.
Canadian. I
Yeah.
realized how much worse. Because I don't even think if I had been with a bunch of white girls from America, we would have gotten into that situation. Because I
No.
think we would have been walking, you would have saw the boarded up house. You'd be like, is this neighborhood bad? Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
take our asses back to Burbage Street.
Well, dude, they have a. You ever been to Vancouver?
I have been to Vancouver.
There's that street in Vancouver, East Hastings,
Yeah.
where there's all the clean injection sites, and so you've just got like
What is a clean injection?
it's where if you're a heroin addict, you go and you can do heroin in a monitored situation. This is paid for by the government.
Wow.
And
Clean
they
needles.
make sure they
Yeah.
give you clean needles. They make sure.
God
you're not-
damn
you're not-
Canada.
I
Yeah.
know, right?
I'm about to move to Canada.
I mean, it's like I mean, I think they even have like, doctors on the premises. You know, just to like make sure, like, all right, man, you should probably eat a sandwich and
drink some water.
yeah, and lay off the brown tar for 24
Hydrate.
hours. Yeah, hydrate before you you bang up again.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But because of that, you've just got these streets full of like, clean junkies. I mean,
Yeah.
and I don't mean clean like they're not doing it anymore. I mean like, oh, they got a shower and
Yeah.
some secondhand clothing,
Shoes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But they keep, but like so they don't need to rob or steal.
Right, exactly.
They're like, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
And I had that moment where I was like, if I get robbed right now, this is my fault. Like this is my fault for following these
Yeah.
bitches. Mind you, I love these girls. We all follow each other on Instagram. We'll hang out again another time. But I was just like, this would be my fault for following
Yeah.
them. And I realized that at that moment when she said, boost me over this wall, I was like, Joyelle, if you get murdered today,
Yeah.
this is your fault. The crackhead stabs you in your throat.
Did you? And you didn't boost her.
Hell
Okay.
no.
I was waiting for the second part to be like, so by the way, this is why I can't go back to New Orleans. I'm one.
I think she's still in New Orleans.
We boosted her over and never saw her again.
Yeah, no. The talls were like, no, you can't do this without us, and you won't do this
So
without
you
us.
won't do that.
We're the base of the pyramid.
It's funny how sometimes someone grows up in like a small, secluded, safe town and they're very afraid of the cities.
Yeah.
Or leaving or anything. But then some of them just have this naivete that's just like everything is always the same and it's fine.
yeah,
And like,
yeah, they're from Toronto, so I don't know. I've
Toronto.
never been to Toronto.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
I haven't either really.
Toronto is good. Toronto's fun. It's like a Chicago, but it's like it's a massive city. Everything
Yeah.
is just safe and fine, and
Right.
it's most of Canada.
And
Yeah.
also that carefree mindset of like
Yeah.
everything's gonna be okay. I was
Yeah.
quite jealous of because I was like, how do you not?
I mean, growing up there, that's a thing you see a lot. Is like people, and I'm sure anyone who grew up in like Vegas or Atlantic City. Well, I hope no one has to grow up in Atlantic City. Jesus Christ.
oh no, that's real talk.
You know what I mean?
I hope that too.
I hope no one has to grow up there. Good God. But no offense, Atlantic City, but seriously, get your fucking shit together.
All
Like,
offense.
seriously.
Atlantic City. I'm from Jersey.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You don't claim.
Well, you know
y'all.
how like Vegas, it's like the thing in Vegas is what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, right? It's like Atlantic City's slogan might as well be Atlantic City, we'll suck your dick.
and tell your wife.
And then New Orleans is what happens in New Orleans stays in New Orleans because it wants to. It found a nice apartment. It's going to hang out and get a job at a bookstore and get inspired and write some poetry and actually sell some poems and do some speaking. And if you come back around, I'd love to see you, but it gets it if you can. It's busy too. It's got a lot going on. Turns out it just signed a deal. It's crazy now, you know? It's got
New
a family.
Orleans is wild.
But like, that's the thing. People come to these cities and to party and just assume that they are safe and everything is fine across the board. It's like dumb shits.
I've never had that assumption.
You become the mark.
I've never had that
You
assumption.
know, like I've seen it my whole life. Like people show up and they're hammered, they're blasted. Because here's the thing: where you were going on Bourbon Street
Yeah, I was
towards the
gonna ask.
cemeteries, that's on Rampart. Now that's all fine now, but like when you head towards that direction, yeah, that shit gets a little sketchy.
Yeah.
If they'd have taken you the other way towards the river, it's beautiful,
Yeah.
touristy
yeah,
nonsense.
yeah. We went the opposite way.
Right.
We went the opposite way.
God, have I seen time and time again just groups of drunk dipshits stumbling loudly through the other part where you're like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
You might as well just start handing out the contents of your wallet right now.
Yeah,
And
it was so
maybe,
crazy.
Maybe then they won't feel the need someone won't feel the need to pull like a blunt object on you.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
it won't even be a gun. It'll be like an axe.
I was having that moment where I felt unsafe, so I started rearranging my contents. Like I had
Yeah.
money. I like put my
Oh,
money in
yeah.
my titty. Like
Yeah.
I had to move stuff around because I was like, all right, if somebody takes my bag, I'll let them take my bag, and then I'll have the
Yeah.
money in my boot. I've had that situation a bunch of times, and I realized most times it's because I'm with white women somewhere, and they
Yeah.
done got me in a situation. It just happened in Europe. I was in Paris. And
Oh yeah, I was going to ask about that tour.
Oh, we had a great time, but there were a couple times when we took a couple lefts down some streets, and I wouldn't have turned down
Yeah.
the street.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of hard-nosed French. Sacre
yeah.
bleu.
Yeah. It's like, look at these hot dudes. I was like, yeah, men. Look at these men we don't know
They're
on this
scary.
dark street in Paris.
I like the idea of them just like all munching down croissants, just staring you down like, c'est avec moi, mon ami.
American.
And Julia's like, I love the accent.
Oh
They're,
my
like, saying,
God,
like-
yes. And then I had a moment where I said, because they were like, oh, Paris was great. And I was like, yeah, there were a couple of turns we took that I wouldn't have gone down the street. And they were like, well, but we were staying in the rich area. And I was like, where do you think they come to rob people?
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah. Let's go rob other poor people.
Yeah, like, that doesn't make any
That
sense.
seems like a.
I was like, I'm in the hood. I'm safe as hell on my block in Crown Heights. They ain't bothering me.
Yeah. Let's go.
yeah.
Let's go. Yeah. Let's not go to where the famous rich people hang out.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
that's of course they will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's like when you hear. That was a thing in New Orleans that was happening for a while that I don't know if it is anymore, but it was in the Marigny, which is like their Bushwick, right?
Yeah.
This was a couple years ago, but
Oh, is it the gentrifying, transitioning neighborhood?
it's gentrifying, transitioning neighborhood, but it's like where all the implants live and all
Yeah.
and it was the area pre-Katrina that was like, you wouldn't avoid it, but you only went if you knew exactly where you were going.
Yeah, you knew someone.
Yeah. But I saw one night at this bar, this woman had like a knife. It was like during the summer, so shorts, but like a sheathed knife on her hip. And I saw it again a couple nights later.
Same woman?
A different woman. And then I noticed multiple women with this, and I brought it up to one of them. They were like, yeah, this is a thing. Like, this is defense. Like,
Is that when you bought me my knife?
yeah, that's when I started getting into that.
Look at me like,
But it was like,
don't fuck with me.
yeah, there were
Yeah.
women like being like, I will cut. I'm letting you know.
You know what that's
And I'm
like?
like,
That's
damn.
like back when the club came out for cars.
Yeah.
The club is not really going to do anything if somebody
No.
wants to steal your car, but it's just going to be somebody be like, you know what? I'm going to just get the car that don't got the club on it.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm going to fuck
yeah.
with the bitch that don't have a knife.
Yeah.
A visible knife.
It makes-
I don't want that problem.
No.
Yeah.
It makes me wish like that would just become adapted everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like, we're all going, okay, not guns, too far. Because a knife, you can't fucking kill someone from down the block unless
Right.
you're a really good Unless you got a good arm and good
Yeah.
aim. And in that case, you probably deserve to kill that person.
Yeah, that person deserved it, had it coming. Yeah, I always think about that, and I talk about that on stage of how I have height privilege. That's the only privilege I have as a black female, because if I'm walking down the street from behind, I look like a dude, and if somebody's choosing who to fuck with, that looks like a problem. I'm not gonna mess with her, him. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
You know, I'd rather deal with a little, and you're gonna go for the little.
Yeah,
I would
well,
assume, unless someone's absolutely out of their mind. Because it will be a problem.
I mean, yeah, that's yeah.
You're going to lose an eyeball or a ball. Something.
yeah.
You're going to lose something.
You're,
fucking with me.
the elbow is in the throat
You just
without,
gotta-
without like naturally.
Fucking your
just-
shins up, son.
yeah.
That's why I bike everywhere.
I'm fucking your shins up with the bottom of my feet.
With the heel to shin.
Yeah, heel to shin. I mean, that's I wish there were more knife carrying, pro knife carrying people.
Yeah, like looking like Lara Croft.
Yeah.
Walking down the street.
Yeah.
I'm more of a proponent of I wish there were less people fucking with me.
That too. But
I feel like anytime a guy brings up like that sort of thing, like I just said, and it's always like, well, there should be less people fucking with you. I'm
Yeah.
like, we all agree.
Oh, I know.
That's across the board. Like,
Yeah.
but
We should
Don't
just
wanna
be
have to
less
remember- Yes.
aren't there less men than women in the world?
there are less men
Yes.
than women in the world.
Now?
However, y'all, are dominant. But did you see there was a tweet where a woman posted, I forget who it was, but she said, ladies, if men didn't exist for a day, what would you do? And then in parentheses, she goes, by the way, no men are being harmed in this hypothetical situation. All the men are fine. I'm just asking women. And every woman's response was something like, I would dress any way I wanted. I would jog at night. I would not worry about, I would not look over my shoulder when I'm walking home. And like everything was just simple shit we would do to feel safe.
Yeah.
Because y'all are monsters.
What about
I'd leave my knife and it's.
I would leave my knife
Yeah.
and my shiv and my mace and everything. I would actually throw it in the garbage,
Yeah.
you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
What about to defend yourself against the women that wanted to take over?
But there'd be so few of them, and
Yeah.
we wouldn't. We'd still be able to have a conversation.
I still think regardless of the genders, power still corrupts though.
Oh,
Power
for
still
sure.
corrupts, but it's not going to corrupt as violently if it was predominantly women.
I would like to agree with that, but I just also think that it's like, because I think a lot of the things that y'all have that hate are things invented by other women, like high heels, for example. Whenever that conversation comes into play, I'm like,
Yeah.
men didn't invent high heels. That was a woman who invented high heels who wanted to, I don't know why exactly, look beautiful and enforce her perception of beauty on other women.
Yeah,
And I'm not saying like I'm just saying that would still exist if there were all women. There'd still be those women out
Actually, we
there.
probably won't wear high heels if there were only women.
Yeah, I don't know.
I personally don't
Be
think.
Ugg boots every day.
I think I say this now. I don't get why you ever started wearing high heels. No, I don't.
You don't think they're sexier?
Every
I-
time I,
I
wear them,
know
he's
what
like,
they
"Why
do.
did you do this to yourself?"
Yeah,
And I'm like,
but I know the
cute.
price. I know that it's like
The price.
You're uncomfortable. It hurts.
I gotta
But
carry
get
your
it.
ass later.
But I also get it that like you've been told from birth to look this way.
I like
you know?
how women look in high heels. I'm not gonna front. I
Yeah.
like how women look in heels.
Yeah.
The older I get, the less I want to wear them. But I love how it looks. I really do love how it looks.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the older you, like you definitely, not even the older, just like the more times you do it, where you're like, do I really want to go through that again?
Ugh.
Do I
Oh,
really-
The worst be
definitely,
like
yeah.
weddings and shit.
That
Where you
really-
like, the whole night you gonna be in the bitches.
Oh, my brother's wedding, he just officiated, and
What?
Yeah,
That
it was
sounds like
super
a
fun.
blast.
But when we're walking down the aisle, I realized that the wood paneling on the floors has tiny enough like spaces in between that my heels, which were stilettos, were falling through. So after the ceremony, I took my shoes off and I was barefoot the entire rest of the wedding, and it was the best decision.
I
made.
actually,
I'm happy you made that decision.
I think barefoot women look super sexy, to be honest. But I've always been that guy. Like, I
Is
don't
this
think,
when you're like, Kaylin, I have a foot fetish?
Right, go granola face ass.
I have a foot fetish. I want your feet to not be in pain.
I'm mad because the last wedding I went to was in Connecticut.
Connecticut.
No.
On a plantation. That's besides the point. But
In
it was on the
Connecticut?
grass. Yes,
Wow.
it was on the grass, and I had on pink suede heels.
Yeah, no.
So I immediately like started to walk out, and I was like, oh no, I can't walk out onto this grass.
Yeah.
And the photographer had these heel things for me, and I still didn't do it because I was like, the grass is moist. But I was like, what about the women walking down the aisle?
Yeah.
Like they put a runner down, but it was like, I still have to walk on this grass. Like people
yeah.
don't think about us.
No.
Nobody cares about us.
The heel. What I want maybe I want to walk around in heels for a day.
I think all of y'all should have to.
Just try,
Yeah.
give it a try.
One day.
Would you be a size 14?
I'd probably I'm a size. Probably in women, probably a size. I'm a 10 in men, so that means probably 12. Mm-hmm. Yep. Now I know, just so I can go.
Go
I'ma
get,
buy you some
go get
size
you some
12
12 heels.
Yeah, but yeah, I say to all women, throw that out the window. You know, I don't know any guy who would be like, you come on, where are the heels, ladies? Because that dude's a fucking idiot.
I'm wearing some heels tonight. So.
Yeah, but that's because you want to wear the heels.
I
Yeah.
am.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I think I'm going
You
on a
want to.
date. So
You think
Nice.
I think I am.
you are? Wait, when are you going to know that you definitely are?
He just called, so maybe when I'm done with this.
Oh, shit. Who is he? Do we know him? Can you say his name and his social security number?
I won't say his name. No, you don't know him unless you watch.
Do you find dating unless you watch what?
Huh?
What was
you
the
watch
end
what?
of that sentence?
Oh, MSNBC.
Oh, no, we talked about him. Okay,
Yes,
yeah.
we did.
Yeah.
Oh, is he a news anchor?
Kind of, yeah.
Oh, if
The
I'm
way you phrased that, though, was like, I might be going on a date, was like one of those situations where you show up and you're not even sure if it's a date when you
Right.
get there, which I've had a couple of, like, I'm not going to say his name because we all do know him. But there was a moment where I was like, I think I forgot to drop the boyfriend bomb, and I got invited to this thing that I hope there's other people there.
Right? You
I
show
hope
up
it's not a
like
date.
he has a corsage and,
Yeah.
and a box of chocolates.
Yeah.
You're like, oh.
And then
I
I
have a
showed up and
boyfriend.
Tommy McNamara was there, and I was like, oh, thank God.
Thank God.
It's a hang.
It's not a date.
I mean, do you find ever that like dating? Wait, so let me guess. If I know you,
Yeah.
you're a perfect guy.
Yeah.
He's a news anchor on MSNBC, 6'4", Sephardic Jew.
Ooh, okay. There you go. All the Jews on MSNBC.
Yeah,
No, I feel like Sephardic Jew, but also half black.
Half black Sephardic Jew.
yeah.
That does actually sound like
And but with a Hispanic name.
yeah, Julio or some shit.
Yeah.
It's actually Julian Castro.
And writing a book and has phrased it under the guise of, "Can you come help me punch up my book?"
Oh,
Oh.
and I would gladly because anyone who's not a comedian is just
Yeah.
a grand old.
So I hope this is a date. I hope this date
Well,
turned out to be a real date.
tell Trump to stop fucking around. That's the problem.
Is he?
That's so funny that it's like Trump has ruined a lot of fucking shit, but also your date. Like,
yeah, because they're covering impeachment right now.
Oh
he just
my
doesn't
God.
know when he's gonna get out.
I saw this thing last night, this very momentary thread that was like, Trump's dead and they're trying to cover it up because apparently he went to the hospital like in a very like unpresidential protocol way. Like there's like 2 days ago, there's like protocol for how a president has
we
to
should
go
start
to the
the
hospital.
Paul is dead trend, but for
Trump, yeah. Well, I don't.
Paul?
Well, yeah.
the Beatles. There was a thing for a while that
Paul
that
McCartney was dead?
Paul McCartney was dead, and everyone was just trying to cover it up.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Wait, haven't there been a couple of celebrities like that?
Yeah,
Some
I think
Weekend at
Avril
Bernie's
Lavigne
type of
is
shit?
weirdly one of them as
Avril
well.
Lavigne.
And
Who else did we think was dead? And somebody? Oh, I thought Michael Jackson was dead before they announced that.
Really?
I thought he was dead because remember when they announced "This Is It," and then they had somebody come out. I didn't think that was him, and then he died soon after that. So I was like, I thought he was dead for a little while, and then they finally were ready to announce it.
It is like Michael
Weird.
Jackson would have been someone to very easily just get a stand-in for.
Easy.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
too many impersonators.
Yeah, yeah.
So if anyone go back to that first announcement for This Is It when he came out and said he was going to do the O2 Arena, I was like, that ain't Michael Jackson.
I want to look.
I
this
think
up
he
now.
was dead.
Since we're all talking about earlier, we're talking about fame. I think it'd be funny to like suddenly see an alternate reality where there's like Joyelle Johnson impersonators, and you see them just walking around on the blocks. But then when no one's looking, they have to get off of like stepping. They have like high heels, like not high heels, but their shoes have like 12-inch heels.
They're still under some pants.
Because they're all smalls.
They're all small. They have to
Small.
take off their afro wig. It's actually a white woman.
Like,
It's Caitlyn.
oh, I'm a Joyelle Johnson impersonator. Yeah.
What if that was my career?
She just puts herself in brown face.
Yep.
Yeah. Which don't do that.
No.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
No. I was just reading
Even
a
for a
story about how the new Harriet Tubman movie, when they had first pitched the script to executives like 25 years ago, some exec was like, oh, yeah, we should get Julia Roberts to do this role.
Yeah, I think that was
Harriet Tubman?
fake.
Yes.
I think that was a fake story.
I agree because it's so ridiculous enough
ridiculous.
that it's creating this buzz about the movie.
Well,
but
also,
still.
wasn't Harriet Tubman like rotund? Like she wasn't like Julia Roberts, bony thin.
Well, I
mean,
think
I know
when
that's
she
Hollywood.
when she was escaping initially, she had to have been.
Yeah.
Or like more like I guess
That
more
bitch
like,
had to be in shape.
But I mean, no, more like wasn't she more like and I don't know, but wasn't she more like a short, stocky, like a
I think
so.
the picture we know of her,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
one picture, she was older.
yeah?
Yeah.
So
So we
it's
don't
like
know.
at
We
that
don't know.
time,
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, I don't think when she was popping, because she kept going back. Ain't no fat bitch going back that many damn times.
I would think you'd have to be small and muscular, like small, like a pit bull build, to keep going. You know, to move.
pit bull.
You know what I'm saying? It's like short, stocky.
Yeah, short, stocky.
You know,
Yeah,
just to be
strong
able to-
as fuck.
Just, just like just growl. It's terrifying. People.
yeah. I would go back in time to hang out with her.
That would be crazy.
She seemed like a badass.
Yeah.
It would be cool to go back in time, but show up with like all of these like GPS on your phone, and be like, "There's a quicker way." Yeah, and like
There's this river that you don't want to fuck with.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
called the
Man,
Roanoke River.
If we're
like
living in a world where we can go
Lunchables.
back in time and hang out with her, I'm bringing her Harry Potter's invisibility cloak, and then she can just go back as many times as she wants.
We're also living in a time so where you also have that.
Yes.
Right. So a lot's happening. Got it. I would also say no slavery.
Yes. Yeah.
If
If we're
we have
living in that
invisibility
time,
cloaks.
no slavery.
That's so funny. Yeah, I think about that all the time. Like my cousins and I ask each other, what type of slave do you think you would have been?
This is the saddest game.
No, but it's always that question of like, would you have been, a house slave who was like abiding by the rules? Would you have been causing trouble with Nat Turner and them? Like, I would like to think I would have been causing trouble, but I might have been a snitch. I don't know. I wouldn't have been a snitch. I hope.
wait, hold on for a second. I just got. I gotta answer this real quick.
Uh-oh. You getting a call during the podcast.
During the part that we're seriously talking about what kind of slave you would have been.
Well, I think I would have been.
The overseer.
I think I would have been the one that's dead.
The dead slave.
Yeah, the one that just keeps.
Yeah.
They just they're like, all right, just take this one out back, and he's worthless. You know what I mean?
Well, I just learned that for a while it was like the black slaves were in the plantations outside, and it was the Irish that were like the house people. And then the Irish basically like bonded with the black slaves. They all worked well together. They had a lot of kids together, and then the Irish totally sold out the black slaves and like worked their
For
way up.
sure, yeah.
and
I
were
think
able
that's
to
when they were probably
earn
like,
their
you
freedom.
are now the overseer.
Yep.
So we're going to separate y'all.
Yep.
I could see that. That also sounds like it happened in the North.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people forget there was slavery in the North.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was countrywide.
Yeah.
I'd say, yeah, a lot of people. That's why a lot of people from the North or the Northeast, where they're like, oh, the South, how racist are you? I'm like, about as racist as people from Boston.
Yo,
Yes.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck are
Black
you
people
talking
call
about?
Boston up south.
Yeah, I did not know that. It's
That's funny.
It's ridiculous when because I'm you grow up around more. I think you grow up around more black people and more people that aren't white in parts of the South than you would
Right.
Yeah.
in like Northern California.
Yeah. I went to
You know,
college
or-
in Boston.
Yeah.
And up until I graduated college in 2003, up until 2003, all the black students on campus got 4 years housing because Boston was too racist to rent apartments to black people. So our school acknowledged that and gave all the black kids 4 years housing when
Yeah.
everyone else got 3 years housing. And
Yeah.
junior year, you're supposed to move off campus.
Yeah.
In the 2000s.
Yeah.
In the year 2000.
That's so
But there's
crazy.
parts of I know that Boston. It seems like people from Boston hate Cambridge. I don't know,
Yeah.
or I don't know if they. But there's there's strides being. I mean, I saw a Vietnamese soul food fusion spot in Cambridge.
Whoa.
It's called 40 Acres and a Meal. Right? No, I
Did you
made
make that up? I appreciate you pronouncing pho right.
Yeah.
Oh
right?
God, yeah.
I hate the way it sounds, but I appreciate when people pronounce it right.
And if
Yeah.
I'm being honest, I only know how to pronounce it correctly because of all the terrible puns where I'm like, that's
the 9021 fuzz. Of the world.
902 Faux being the one
No,
on
no.
Beverly on Sunset. And I don't even think it's there anymore, but I was like, wait a second.
That's
That's
not how you
too
say
easy. And then it's like, fa. Yeah, it doesn't make sense, you
pho.
dipshits.
Blech.
I would say, wait, are you doing any more of these tours for Planned Parenthood?
It's not Planned Parenthood, actually. It's
Oh.
the Abortion Access Front. We tour for independent clinics. So a lot of people
Oh,
don't
okay.
know that Planned Parenthood only does 3% of abortions. That's 3%
interesting.
of their entire outreach, you know. And so we support clinics whose specific purpose is abortion, and places like Louisiana and Mississippi. Mississippi only has one clinic left. It's called the Pink House, and that's the only place where all of the women in Mississippi can go to have
Where
an
is it?
abortion. It is in what's the capital?
Oh, Jackson?
Yeah.
Jackson, Mississippi? Yeah.
Yeah, and so we support those independent clinics because those are the ones where most of the women get their abortion care in America.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So speaking of people, if anyone
Yeah.
wants to support abortion rights, you can contribute to Planned Parenthood, but they also have enough money. Contribute to independent abortion clinics and abortion funds, actually. So the National Network of Abortion Funds is another place that you can contribute that's actually going to give directly to women who need support to get to fucking Jackson.
Right.
Every time you talk about this tour, I'm like, I want to go on it.
Yeah, we were just in Baton Rouge, Houston, and that's why it's like January 23rd. I'll be somewhere with them.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember where, but
That's
yeah.
all. I mean, that's yeah. Are those their shows just kind of open to the public?
Yeah.
And just to raise money for
Yeah. Raise money
Right,
and
and-
awareness and support. So we'll have all the clinic workers come to the show and then afterwards do a talk back and just have the people say, like, what do y'all need? Because a lot of services they can't get because they're abortion clinics. So they can't get simple services like landscaping or internet work or paper shredding, document shredding. People won't support them because they do abortion. So we'll ask people, do you know anyone who can do this service for the clinic?
Right.
They need pavement. They need something, simple services that people won't give them because they're against what they actually do.
Yeah, and men, I think a lot of men don't think they should care, but it's like, I don't need to care. But it's like, no, you care about this shit.
Well, we need y'all to
Support
care.
women.
Yeah.
We
Support
wouldn't get
it.
pregnant without
Like
you.
Yeah.
you also, like you want healthier, saner, happier women, so that when they take over, they treat us better than we treated them.
There
Yeah.
you go.
You know what I mean?
Look at that.
Yeah.
Here's hoping.
Yeah, So
Here is hoping.
yeah. Go and so. Is there like a link for this tour or?
The Abortion Access Front is .org or the Abortion Access Force. Either one you could support. The difference between a nonprofit and a not nonprofit.
Yeah.
So yeah, go to those websites.
See, that's where else can we find you?
Yeah.
You can find me, Joyelle Nicole. That is on Instagram and Twitter, and also my website. Yeah, that's where you can find me. I'll be on the Impractical Jokers cruise in February. I'll be on the Joko cruise in March. So if you're trying to get your cruise on, come see me.
Yeah,
and,
back-to-back cruises.
Back-to-back cruises.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun.
And tomorrow, well, this probably won't air, but tomorrow I'm going to Miami with Alana.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, I do a lot of touring with Alana Glazer, Hannibal Buress,
Yeah,
all your
yeah.
favorite people.
All the favorites.
I'm the opener for all your favorites.
See Joyelle. She's fucking funny.
Yes.
Wonderful. Magical tall.
Magical,
Yes,
I'm a magical tool.
magical tool. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Perfect.
Under the sea, darling, it's better down where it's wetter. Nobody feed us, fry us, and eat us in fricassee. Up on the shore, they work all day. Out in the sun, they slave away. While we devote in full time to floating under the sea.